Alright, listen up. It's all vanity. All of it. Like, I have this theory that I'm the greatest human of all time and that people worship me like a god. They lay their broken bodies down before me and supplicate their withered incomes to my passionate response, which I kind of like take the beaten down proletariat and bring them up into like a higher class of being, and then I'm just like, you know what? I don't need you. I don't need anything. Like the other day, these people called me and they were like, we want to give you $75 to interview you. And I was thinking like, geez, I was thinking at this point in my life I would be interviewing magazines and they'd be interviewing me about like, hey, how's it like to be so famous? You want to like be a rock star? You want to be like cool like Ben Robinson is? Ben Robinson's cool. How did you get so famous? Tell us about your life. Tell us about your shows. But no, these guys want to interview me for like, what's it like to be on ODSP? And it's like, that's disability ODSP. And they're like, we'll give you $75 and we'll ask you questions like, what kind of disability do you have? And I'm like, oh, I have a mental illness. And they're like, oh, gee, you have a mental illness. So you're like, oh, we'll do a phone interview. You don't come into the office. You do a phone interview and we give you $75. We mail you the check. And that's for like people with intellectual disabilities, and I'm like, I don't have an intellectual disability. I'm a mental illness. You understand me? It's like crazy, but I'm not crazy. They just think I'm crazy. But I read a Russell Brand biography, and Russell Brand is all like, oh, he was crazy, right? But he wasn't like, they didn't say he was crazy. He just did lots of drugs, and then he got famous because he quit doing drugs. And I'm like, if I quit doing drugs, do you think I'll be famous? No, I don't think I'll be famous if I quit doing drugs. And like, the stand-up comics, they're like, oh, we're doing shows in Toronto and you should come to our shows. But like, then they have the film festival and they do the film festival and I submit a video and they're like, oh yeah, we don't want you. No, we don't. We're going to block you from our Facebook. That's just nonsense what you're talking about. It's nonsense. And so I don't want to go to their shows no more. And like, let alone like, I wasn't even performing. I used to perform in my early 20s. I performed a stand-up show. But I don't even want to perform no more. And now I don't even want to go watch them. And so like, how far away am I from famous? I'm not very famous. And I uploaded a video the other day, got 5 views, and I think one of, maybe three of them were mine. So like, nobody watches me, and I just rant in front of the camera, and then they send me these comments on Facebook. They like, oh, you so crazy, and like, we wanna put you in our movie, and but the movie is just like this long-term trolling scheme. And Jesus Morris, he's a mastermind. And you think about how people use people. You think about how people are always looking for angles. Like the businesses, they say, oh, this guy's got some money. I think I'm gonna like create a Ponzi scheme and get the money. And you think about how people are using me. Are people using me? Are people exploiting me? I don't know. I don't know, man.